Good evening. Thank you for joining me on the metaphysical journey. This is Sunday, October the 8th, and this reading will cover the week ahead. However, like last week's reading, which had major arcana cards in it as well, and this one does too, this is some major life transforming type things that you're going to be going through. So this will take some time to play out. So it won't be done entirely just in 7 days. I first want to say that tomorrow is Monday. So happy Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day, whichever you choose to refer to it. I hope that it sets your week off on a good tone and that you ride that wonderful energy throughout the rest of the week as you continue to work on the things that you are currently going through. This is a follow-up to last week's reading in which that had some major life transforming things happening, and this is a continuation of that. So I hope that you will take the time to listen to this because I think this will really help you. On this reading, I'm going to change my format just a bit. I'm still using tarot cards. However, I've broken this one into some different categories. So the very first section will be where are you now? The second is what's presenting itself to you. The third is some possible barriers. And the last category is how to move forward. On each of these categories, I will begin with an oracle card to kind of set the tone for that. And I'll be pulling from Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. For the tarot cards, I'll be pulling from the Wyspell Tarot, a new deck that I bought that I really love the colors and the energy of it. And then at the end, I also will pull some additional cards for you just as little bonuses, things to kind of set off the week in a good mood for you. So the first category is where are you now? And the card is a change in the wind, a change in the wind. Obviously, you have felt that something's different, something's going on different. And I've talked to a variety of people, and this is showing up in different ways. You possibly feel like there's some type of a transformation taking place inside of you, that at nighttime in your dreams, you're having interesting dreams if you remember them, or you wake up and you just know that you've been doing something, or you feel that throughout the day you're getting downloads and different transmissions. You're not certain what they are, but you feel like there is something taking place inside of you. And that is because there is a change in the wind. Things are different. It's very common for us as humans to want certainty, to not want any changes because change is very scary. But this is something that this process started some time ago, and you have no control over it. You just feel that it's happening and you don't know what to do. So a change is in the wind. The very first tarot card is the Magician. Major Arcana card. This is huge. Now, the Magician, if you look at this, if it'll focus in right on this, on the table, he has all the elements there. He has the elements of swords, wands, cups, pentacles. All of those are there at his disposal. And you are a magician of your life. I've said that many times. Now, Magician, this isn't really a fascinating card. There's so many different ways we can go with this. First of all, it says that you have the ability, you have the capability, if you choose to use it, to pull in all the different energies and transform them into something magical and new. And Magician, the word magic comes to mind, and we've seen magic spelled two different ways. There's M-A-G-I-C, and then there's also the variation that has a K at the end. Now, I've read in different sources that the reason why the K is added was to separate or differentiate between a magician on stage, like, pull a card, any card, pull a rabbit out of a hat, so to speak, and then the magician of energy, that they use energy and they transform into something else. So that's kind of the difference between the two. Why is there a K? Why is there not a K? Because people want to make sure that others know they're not a stage magician. They are using magic and the energies involved in that for some purposes to transmute that into something new, to change or alter things. And that's a very powerful distinction between the two. Magicians also, historically, they have been called illusionists. so that what they create is not real. It's just an illusion. It's a sleight of the hand type of thing. Now, the magician is going to come up again, not the same card, but I want to pull back on him. I'm going to pull him back to one of the later categories. So I just want to leave that there. So you have everything you need right now at your disposal to create and deal with the changes that are taking place. The second card is the Six of Wands. Now, this shows a person riding in from battle. There's a wreath there kind of commemorating their accomplishments on the field or in the battle. So they're coming back victorious. And where you are right now is that you have that victory under your belt, so to speak. You've done the work. You've been doing this for a long time, and that victory is yours. It is time now to move forward and accept your reward, accept your garlands of praise. So that's where you are right now. Now, what's presenting itself? And this is exchanging gifts. Exchanging gifts. Now, this is about the law of giving and receiving, reciprocity, exchanging gifts. In order to get something good, you have to give something good of equal measure. This is why Christmas is a horrible time. It's a hard time, whether it's Christmas or any time. If someone gives you a gift, automatically you think, oh gosh, now I have to get them something now too, because you automatically want to give back if you receive. And a lot of that has to do with self-worth and, different confidence issues that we're like, what are they going to expect from me if I don't give them something back? But that aside, what's presenting itself is a wonderful, beautiful opportunity. It's a gift. And you're going to have to do some hard work for it. You are going to have to give something back in return. Now, what could that be? That could be that in order to make room for something new, you have to get rid of something old. There are different books on how to declutter your space, and I've read different things that whenever you bring something into your house, you need to let something go, or at least let 2 things go, or 5 or 6 things go if you're a hoarder or something. But in order to make room for something new, you have to make that room by clearing something out. So are you willing to let some of the stuff go? The first tarot card on this is the Tower. Now, this is very telling right here. It's time for there to be a change. Not that your house is going to blow up or something, but it's a time for the old to go and something new. You pretty much have to wipe out things down to the very foundation and start building again in order to make space for the new things that are coming. The second card on this is the Nine of Wands. Now, this is an amazingly perfect card for this category, because the Nine of Wands, it's kind of this person's in between the worlds. It's a card of where you are thinking about where you've been, what the possibilities are, what lies ahead. It's the what if card, basically. It's the way I look at it, is you're pondering and you're thinking, what are the possibilities? This is a person that he's obviously been through quite a bit, but he's now having time to stop and think about where am I right now? What are the possibilities that I have? And that is what you are asked to do with what's being presented. It's time to let the old stuff go, to completely tear apart the old structures, the stuff that you've been clinging on to, that your tower that took you many years to build. And that tower could be a way of how you live your life, the types of relationships you have, the attachments and habits that you've been holding on to, all of that. You've created this comfort zone for you. And it's in order to move forward and to see something new and to change your perspective, you've got to let that go. And the Tower card is there to say, it's time to start seeing some destruction take place from the old stuff so that you can start to begin again and build a new structure, a new way of living, a new way of life, a new way of thinking, a new way of using your energy compared to what it was there before. The next category is possible barriers. And this is truth be told. One of the big barriers that we face is that we often know it takes a while, but we start to see the handwriting on the wall. We know it's there, we know what it says, and we know what we're supposed to do with it, but we just aren't facing the facts. We're not facing the truth. We don't want to see it because it's going to cause us to have to make changes. We're going to have to tear down that tower and start building all over again. And it took us a long time to get to where we are. We may be living in a little hovel or a tent, but you know what? We're okay with it because we don't want to do it all over again. But truth be told, there are different types of truths out there. One, the truth that we tell ourselves, or the illusion we allow ourselves to continue to believe, even though we know it's no longer truthful, but we stick with it because it's just easier. There's also the truths that are being told by other people. Now, are they truths or are they half truths? Who knows? The reality is, if we believe them or we accept them and we live our life according to them, then we are saying that is truth for me and I'm going to take it. So many different things come your way, and it's always been that way. You have people that are telling you how you should live your life. Your entire tower largely was built one block at a time, and each of those blocks represent something someone told you, their ideas, their opinions, what they believe you should do, how you should live your life, and it builds up and up and up, and it keeps just strengthening to where you are locked inside a fortress. You're inside at the very top looking out, screaming, "Let me out." You're so guarded and bound in that because you've allowed that to happen. So truth be told, whose truth are you listening to? That of everyone else? Or are you listening to the truth coming inside yourself? So that is a barrier right there. First tarot card on this is Temperance. Temperance. And I see this as it's a balance card. It's balancing both sides, or balancing all sides, is coming to that middle ground, something that is authentic to you and not catering so much to either side, is where you are walking the straight line down the middle and you have both sides of things happening and you're finding your way between it and you're staying true to you and what you know to be true for you. Again, going back to the main one is truth be told, it's your truth. You have to walk in your truth, in your light, not that everyone else. So temperance, finding that balance, standing there with you have, and this is a barrier because if you're not balanced or you're a person that is trying to keep everyone happy and please everyone and sacrifice yourself, this is a barrier. To be a person with 1 foot on the earth, 1 foot in the water, you're walking between two worlds. And possibly you're not in balance because you are sacrificing your voice, your thoughts, what you know to be true for you to make others happy. This happens a lot in family situations, or I'm going to leave it there, is that you know what you're supposed to be doing. You feel that calling inside, all the transformation that's been taking place, all the changes you've been feeling. Perhaps these are happening. You're being upgraded in one way or another because it's time for you to step out there into your own light and fulfill your destiny as a light worker. You're not here by chance. You're here on purpose. And in our lives, it takes sometimes a tower moment to snap us out of it and get us back in reality to where we ask that question, what am I here to do? What's my life purpose? Why am I going through this? And once we see that moment is when things start to change. Today, when I was mowing, this is so strange, but I was mowing today and I was thinking back about what was my tower moment. Now, this question comes, I pulled these cards earlier today and I've thought about them all day long. It's like, what does that tower mean? And I realized, and this was in a tarot class I took, we did the Fool's Journey. And the Tower card is the one that stood out to me out of all of the whole thing of the major arcana cards. It was that one. My Tower moment happened in 1987. And I won't go into the details of what happened, but it was a major life transforming event in which I thought I was actually going to die. And it was a long, long thing. I was listening to a book by a woman named Lori Ladd called Divine Design. And she was talking about the harmonic convergence, which took place in 1987. And I'm like, that's weird. I never knew that. I just learned that today. I was like, that was the year of my Tower moment. I wonder if the two have anything to do with each other. Somehow I think that they do. But those Tower moments in your life, this is a Tower moment for you. It's time to step away from the old into something new. Don't be afraid of it. It's happening for a reason, and it's in your highest good. So after Temperance, the next card we have is the King of Cups as a possible barrier. Now, how can this be a barrier? I'm not reading reversals, because if I did, this is the way this card would have shown up, and probably a Temperance card as well. It would be in reverse, the King of Cups. Now, this could mean that you are a person that people come to you for advice. You've always been known for great advice. You just are that fun person that people come to. You've got all the creativity, all the ideas. You can come up with 15 ideas in like 5 minutes flat, and people look at you like, how do you do that? So you're a person that's respected for that. How is this a barrier? Well, it's a barrier if you realize now that you have a different mission or purpose in life, and you're going to possibly lose some of those people that have always praised you. Are you going to lose that praise? Are you going to lose the adoration of the people there? That's a fear. And that's something that you have to consider. It is possible you won't lose anyone. It's also possible you lose almost everyone when you step out there on your own. That does happen. That's a possible barrier, is being so comfortable with how people have always known you, how they've always approached you. Is that possibly going to change? And are you not facing the truth on that? That could be a barrier. I wanted to dig into that one a little bit more, so I pulled an additional card. And this is the Five of Swords. And this kind of set it straight for me of what was going on. This is about people. It's about a lot of fights, a lot of conflicts you've had with others in the past. It's been something that, yeah, you may have ended up with all their swords, but you still had sore losers walking away, and other people comforting them as they walked away, kind of as mediators. And you've been left there. You have all the dark clouds up above. It's been a storm, a constant battle. And this is showing that a barrier could be that you are possibly not wanting to go through that again. So you're giving in to get along. Is that truly in your best interest, or is that just prolong the path that you're on and this energy that you're feeling, and this feeling inside of you like, I know this isn't right, it no longer works for me, but I don't want to cause any problems. I want to keep everybody happy, but in the process you're not happy. So something definitely to consider on that one. So how to move forward? What is moving forward? And this card is by the book. By the book. Now, this does not mean that you are supposed to buy a book and do exactly what other people say. This is by your book. And what is your book? Your book is your soul's blueprint, because you have one. When you came here to Earth, you had a soul blueprint. And as a light worker, that blueprint will engage, and it'll allow it will allow you to see parts of it. Once you start, your activation takes place and you start going into higher vibrational frequencies, and that blueprint kicks in. But more than likely, you already know what the key components of that are. You know what you're called to do. You feel what you're called to do. And the way to move forward is to get rid of everything else that they're saying to you. Go inside and say, I'm going to follow my path because it's specific to me and I want to follow that. And that's how you move forward, by the book. the book that's inside of you, the blueprint that's written, everything that you know to be true for you. You have to stay true to your path, follow your internal guidance navigation system, no one else's. The first card on this major arcana is the Empress. Beautiful card. The Empress is about many things, but one is fertility, creation, new life. You see a rabbit on there, right? Fertility, that's the rabbits are very procreative, as we all know. But the Empress, a beautiful energy here, because this is about you creating new life. And what is that new life? It's everything you've worked through, everything leading to where you are right now, all the changes taking place inside of you, the downloads, the adjustments, that feeling like something's different, something's changing, I don't know what it is. And the reason why you can't see it out there is because it's all taking place in here, in your heart, in your mind, inside of you. It's your life's purpose is coming online, and it's going to shine brighter and brighter until there's no possible way you can overlook it and not see it. And perhaps that's what you're seeing now. And it scares you because it's a whole new way of living. It's a whole way of doing things. What will people think? Will you lose people? The list goes on and on. You know what the questions are because I'm sure you ask yourself that all the time. I know that you have to be doing that and wondering, what is happening to me? Because I think the same thing on a regular basis. So the Empress is there. The next is the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, I've heard this referred to as the Thief card. And this is about deception. You have a person that's taking these swords, they're kind of slinking away into the night and leaving everything that they're robbing and they're stealing. Now, how do you use this to move forward? Again, I would say if I read reversals, this would be in reverse because this is not what you want to do. There's two ways on this one. Is you don't want to move forward by being deceptive and lying to other people. You can lie to people all you want, but eventually the truth will come out. But more importantly, the truth is always known inside of you, and that will weigh on you. Lies are a lower vibration and they're heavy and they will weigh you down. We've all heard it said that the truth will set you free, and it will. It's a huge weight that lifts off you because that is heavy energy. And when you are in truth, you're going to be lighter and you have just more creativity, more energy. You've got more going on that way because you're not weighted down by all of these bricks that are holding you down. So do not be deceptive. The other way to look at this in moving forward is know when not to talk. Know when not to tell people what you're doing. Your spiritual journey is one that's between you and your divine creator, whatever you choose to call it. It's a one-on-one relationship. You walk directly with them, and your guides are there assisting you. So you don't have to tell everyone what you're doing. We fortunately don't live in the day and time where if people have assumptions or think something, they're going to, the villagers are going to show up at your house to give a bonfire in your honor and to roast you. We don't have that, but you do have people out there that are going to make fun of you and ridicule you, especially people that you've known for a long time that are used to you being in a certain category. They've already labeled you. And when you step outside of that box, they don't know what to do. And if you're living a life that's not like theirs, or you're living a life that's not in their approval of what they think your life should be, even though secretly they don't live it either, just going to throw that out there. But you know when to keep your mouth shut. A lot of things are private. It's between you and your creator. So don't flat out lie, but don't walk around openly telling everyone what you're going through, because there's a lot of retaliation, reprisal. People will hold things against you. So there are some things it's best if you keep it to yourself. So I hope those cards resonate. As in all things, use your intuition on the cards of what these mean for you. This was a very broad category, as hopefully I mentioned in the beginning, so that this can show up in your life in a way unique to you. It could be in the area of relationships or money or jobs or love. I mean, anything. It can show up in different ways. But the key points are there's a change coming. You have to let go of some old in order to receive the new. Don't be afraid to let it go. Let that tower go. And that be honest with yourself. See the truth for what it is and step forward in that. And to follow your own internal navigation guidance system. You know what's right for you. And if you ask the question, the answer will come. I want to leave you with a couple of cards here. The first one is from the Crystallary deck, and this is a crystal, and it is black tourmaline, and this can help you through this process. Black tourmaline is about transmutation. Now, I want to read from the guidebook on this one, so I apologize for that, but I want to make sure that I get it right. It's not really long, don't worry. But it says, black tourmaline's first gift is transmutation, the ability to take all the energetic excess and turn it into something else. It's magical in its own way. If you're sensitive to that sort of thing, it can be almost noisy. Black tourmaline speaks very loudly. Black tourmaline goes very nicely with the magician card of being able to pull things together and transmute that into something positive. So taking everything you have in this time of change and growth and removing the old and coming in with the new, black tourmaline could be a really great energy for you to pull in as you work through this. The next thing I wanted to pull is an Archangel card, and this is one I had never heard of before, Gabrielle. And I probably said that wrong, but you know, he's an angel. He'll forgive me. And on this one, it says, you have the potential to blossom in unexpected ways. This is a highly auspicious card if you want to become pregnant. However, the fruitfulness can extend to any area of your life. Move forward now and seize the bounty that is waiting for you. The last card I want to leave you with, this is just an overall message for the week to come and in your life in general. And this is coming from The Universe Has Your Back. And it says, my faith has the power to turn trauma into healing, conflict into growth, and fear into love. I hope that you have a beautiful week, and that I hope that the changes that are coming are ones that you are very happy with and that you have been expecting and that you're ready to work with, because it truly can make all the difference in your life. Thank you so much for following me on the metaphysical journey, and have a beautiful week.